Hey guys, so this is going to be a kind of like a half-assed demonstration of how I tend to do my face when I want to wear a full face of makeup. And I am going to warn you, I am chewing gum in this video, but I'm actually chewing gum because my tummy hurts, and chewing peppermint gum usually helps my tummy. So I really hope that you guys don't mind it too much. If it is too much of a problem, just let me know and I will really try not to do it in the future. But if it's not too much of a problem, that would be awesome because I really enjoy chewing my gum in my videos because it's comforting. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and kick right into it because it might be a little bit lengthy. I'm going to really try to cut it short though, okay? Basically how I start right now, I'm using up my L'Oreal True Match Foundation, Super Blendable Foundation, because I purchased this and I don't like to waste anything. But also because I figured a way that makes it a little bit more workable for me. Personally, what I found is that if I do really like light layers at a time and I blend it really well, that it actually looks a lot better. So I've been trying to use that up that way. And also this cap on here, I have a quick tip video on this, and basically what I did was I just added this spout onto it because this foundation does not come with a pour spout. I mean with a pump, so it comes with a pour spout, which I really hate. So anyways, in case you guys are wondering, I'm very pale and my color is Soft Ivory N1 in the neutral line. There's like a cool, a warm, and a neutral. And that is it. I'm pretty pale. So basically what I do, I've already kind of done my makeup. That's where I got the idea to do this for you guys. So I'm not really going to do a whole lot because I've already done my makeup and I don't want to like slather it on. Basically, I just take a little bit of pump on the back of my hand. I make sure my hands are clean. And I take my e.l.f. This is my e.l.f. powder brush. And basically what this is kind of like a flat top long handled kabuki brush, and this is synthetic hair and it's really fantastic. It's super soft and it's really good for blending. So what I do is I basically just kind of like tap that on the back of my hand, and like I said, I'm trying to do really light layers because my skin is just really dry and it tends to make products look really like kind of like dusty on my skin. So if you guys have dry skin, be careful with this foundation. So basically what I do is I take it and I just pounce it over my hand until I'm satisfied with the amount of product that I have on it and how much I want to put on my face. And then I start in the center of my face with like my cheeks, and usually I would do my nose, but I've already done it and I don't want to add any more. I have dry areas on my nose, so I have to be really careful around that. Around my nose where we get hormonally red as females, I'm sure there are males out there that have red spots around their nose too, but hormonally and just biologically, women are more prone to have red areas around their nose and mouth area hormonally. So then I kind of just make my way down to my chin, do a little bit of a swipe over my upper lip, and I'm just pouncing right now, just doing pouncing movements. And again, I get really red on the apples of my cheeks, so I try to concentrate that there, and then I start to buff. And this brush is fantastic at buffing. Like I said, it's so soft and you feel like you can really get in there and work that foundation, that product, and it causes absolutely no discomfort at all. If anything, it kind of feels good and it's kind of fun. So anyways, I do that, and then normally I would continue to blend a little bit more product outwards and, you know, down my neck and on my forehead and everything, but I've already done that, so I'm not going to overload. But that's how I do that. And then in order to set the foundation, what I like to use is my e.l.f. High Definition Powder. And this stuff is really bamf. If you guys have not heard of this or tried this yet, I would highly recommend you to do so. I'm going to try to put a link in the bottom bar for the eyeslipsface.com, and this stuff is like $6 regularly, but they always constantly have sales. So basically what I do is I take the lid off, tap a little bit in there, and then I take my Coastal Scents dual fiber stippling brush, and I just kind of swirl it around in the lid there, tap off any excess, and just kind of swoop that over my face. You guys get the drizzle. You know what I'm talking about. It's really not that hard. You just kind of sweep it over your face. So basically, you just kind of sweep it over all the areas that I put that foundation. Then I pop and lock that sucker, put it back. And then at this point, I go ahead and I decide what kind of color I want to add to my face now that I've done like a wash of this light color, especially because I'm so pale, I don't want to look dead. So I'm not a huge fan of blusher just because my cheeks do tend to get, sorry, I did not mean to flip you guys off like that. My cheeks do tend to get really rosy, especially in the apples of my cheeks. So I really stay away from blushers that are like the red, pinky, you know, the normal type of blusher tones, especially stay away from applying it to the apple of my cheeks. If I do use a blush, I almost always just grab for my Estee Lauder Blush All Day Natural Cheek Color in 02 Raspberry. And this is something that's really old. I know you're supposed to throw out your makeup after a certain amount of time, but Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's whatever. This was actually like hand-me-down to me, so I didn't pick this out. This was just given to me. But I have so much left, I feel like I don't want to waste it. But if I do wear blush of this kind of color, usually I'll take my Coastal Scents brush and I'll stipple it in there and I'll tap it off, and I'll only put it in like this kind of area here, and I'll make sure to blend it out really well. It's not like I just like put it right here. I just try to stay away from the apples of my cheeks, you know, too much, so that it doesn't look like I have like little dolly cheeks and I'm all blushed and like flushed and everything. What I usually use though to add a little bit of color without going for that straight like flushed look is I use my e.l.f. Warm Bronzer. And to warn you guys, this is really shimmery. This is what it looks like. Comes with a freaking fat ass mirror, like righteous. But this is what the product looks like. And again, this is the warm. They have a warm, golden, and a cool. And I keep trying to get the cool, but they always have it sold out. The cool is the only matte bronzer that they sell on their site, by the way. But these ones here are really shimmery, so you have to be really careful when you're applying this so that you don't look super, super like shiny. It might make you look a little bit greasy if you apply too much because the sheen from it, from the shimmers, and also you don't want to look like a disco queen. I mean, if you do, that's totally cool, then load this baby on, but personally I don't want to, so I just want to add a little bit of color, you know, without looking super greasy or super flushed with the regular blusher. So these are the colors, and basically what I do, because there is kind of a blusher color on this side, but it's much paler, and what I basically do is I just swirl my little dual fiber brush around there, tap any excess off, and I just apply this like right there, and then I kind of put it up in the temple here on both sides. Obviously I've just already done it, so I don't want to apply too much, but I just kind of try to blend it out really well in more of like a slant motion than like an apple in my cheek and then blend it backwards. And I'm not the type of person that applies blush on my forehead or on my chin or down, you know, anywhere else except for just a little bit right here. So that's what I use that for, and again, that mirror is so big and useful. Oh my god, it's awesome. And right now I'm actually waiting for my contour powder in the mail, but if I do tend to contour, I usually just use like some sort of a very like toned down brownish ashy shade to kind of contour, but I don't usually do a whole lot of contouring because A, I'm still learning, and 2, I'm waiting for my contour shade in the mail, so don't really have anything on that right now. Then this moment, usually at this time, is when I fill in my brows, and if I want any eyeshadow on, that's when I usually apply my eyeshadow. Just to let you guys know though, this eyeshadow is not supposed to look like super awesome. This was actually for a themed contest that I just entered a couple hours ago, so it's still on. So yeah, I'm not like totally trying to rock this because I know it does not look fantastic. But anyways, that's pretty much it, you guys. If I forgot something, I didn't cover it, or you guys want to inquire any more about any of the tools I used or any of the products that I used, let me know down in the camel toe, and I'll be totally happy to answer that for you guys. I hope this was useful or entertaining. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it somewhat. I enjoyed making it, so hopefully you guys will let me know down below if there's anything that you want to know from me, or if you just want to say hi. Okay, I love you guys so much. Stay blessed.